Okay, YouTube, this is DJ Magic Andy from the Magic Touch family coming to you with a tutorial video on how to warp in Ableton. And let's begin.
Magic Touch family, you don't know, sin. Yeah, man. Andy the Magician.
I want to make a tutorial video on warping in Ableton because I went through YouTube as much as I could. And I could not find someone teaching warping the way I wanted to learn. I think by me making this video, it will help you guys. Now, I'm just going to teach how to warp in this video. And then as we go along, other videos, I'll teach you how to warp for a dub plate and so on. Now, let's open Ableton. Okay, so what happens when you open Ableton, the first thing you see is the session view. This is the first view, it's the first display when you open Ableton Live. It looks like an audio mixer with volume faders, mute, and solo buttons, basically. A great benefit of this session view is the simplicity it gives you when you're running multi-tracks, okay? But we're not going to get into that right now. What I want you to do is when you open Ableton, the first thing I want you to do is make sure your complex mode is put on and you save it. So what you do, you go here, Preferences, and you see it says Record, Warp, Launch. This right here, I want you to change this beats to complex and leave it like that. And just take a quick look at my setup right here. And you know, you could just do your setup like this. The file type is wave. It depends on your system, okay? But just look at this. Start playback with tap tempo, that's off. Start recording on screen launch is off. This is for when you're recording and stuff. It's not really important. But this is what we're working with. Record, warp, and launch. This is what we're working with. Okay. Now, this mode right here, like I said, is called the session view. If you come up here and you click on this, it brings you to the arrangement view, which looks much more like your standard music recording software like Logic and GarageBand and Pro Tools, etc. All right, but let's go back into this view and let's open up Mixed in Key. I have some songs that I dropped in here. So this is one-riddim, right? With 3 different artists sing songs on the rhythm. As you can see, Terra Fabulous, Nadine Sutherland, Buju Banton, General Degree, Action, Love How the Girl Them Flex, Mr. Do It Nice. This is the tempo. You have one that is 93 BPMs, 91 BPMs, 92 BPMs. This is a problem for some DJs when they mix in Serato. They don't like to be using the pitch up and changing things. They just want everything to flow. Okay? So I'm going to show you how to, you have a little time on your hands and you want to sit down and prepare your music properly and warp them and make everything to stay the BPM that it's supposed to be. Let's make all 3 91 BPMs. Let's minimize this. Let's open up Ableton. So as you can see right here, we have MIDI. Let's delete this MIDI. We don't need MIDI. We just need audio right now. So what I did, I clicked on the MIDI and I hit delete. Okay. All right. Terra Fabulous, load. There we go. I dropped him right there. Okay. Hit stop. Right here is your BPMs, 120. That's the standard BPM when you open when you open Ableton or any DAW, any DAW. Okay, it's standard 120. Okay, so that's why it's playing so fast. So what I do is I press play, hit stop, so it's triggered, and then I double click it so it opens up. Now remember I told you to change it to complex. As you can see right here is complex. The warp is on because I turned it on. If I click it off, this is what it looks like. Make sure your warp is always on. Okay, make sure it's on. And what happens is Ableton is telling you this is the actual BPM for the song. 93 BPMs, okay? But what I want to do is I want this track to be 91 BPMs. So all my tracks will be 91. So what I'll do is I'm just going to pull this down to 91 and leave it there. This is what it is right now. This is what I want it to be. Now, if you go all the way to the top, the magnifying glass, you click and you pull down, it opens it up wide. If you come down here, this is for you to play. So all the way up here is to open wide. When you come down a little bit, it's play. See, if I come right here and I press it. If I come here and I press it. Okay, so this is magnifying glass to open, close. When I pull down, it widens out. When I go up, I'm holding on the mouse. When I go up, it comes back small again. Okay, you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are your bars. 1 bar, 2 bar, 3 bar, 4 bar, 5 bars. And how you warp is these little transients. These are transients, as you can see. These right here. These are transients. You have to try and get your beat, your kick, to line up with a bar or the transient on a bar. Let's turn this metronome on so you can hear when it starts playing, and you'll know if it's off or not. So you can press your space bar to play, or you can press right here to play. Okay, so as you can see, it's off. Okay, listen. It's off. Okay. So we need to find the part where we want to start. So it's right here. And what happens to, because I have warp on, Ableton tries to find each point where there a beat drops, where there's like a kick or like a drum hit or like a beat. Ableton tries to find it. Okay? So right here, let me open it up a little bigger and I'll double click right here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click and I'm going to come down and say set here 1 1 1 1. So I want this to be my starting point. See? So we're not using this right now. We'll come back to this afterwards. Just right click and delete this right here. So we started from here. So now listen, I'm going to press my space bar. So it's going with the metronome. It is. Well, let's go all the way down here and hear how it sounds. Yeah, this is good. Now, the reason why this, you don't have much warping to do with this, fixing to do with this, is because this beat was made with a drum machine. Okay? There's different types of audio that you can warp. Okay? There's beats made in a DAW. There's audio that's ripped from a vinyl record. So let's say you had this same beat that's made perfect. Let's say this was ripped from a vinyl. It probably would have drifted, you know? And that's what you will have to warp. Then we have audio. We have beats that's done live, like a live band. It's hard for a live band to stay on beat. There's no metronome. Some bands have metronomes in this day and age, like a belt or something on their feet, so the band can know to stay in beat, but they still go off. And then there's acapellas. Okay, so let's go down to like the 75th bar, like here. As you can see, this is the beat right here. This is it right here. Just take it, double click it, and just pull it right here. Okay? So now let's go in the middle and look. See? Look at that. You see how that's lined up perfectly? Because that's where the beat starts. It starts right there. So you don't have much issue warping this. Okay? You could just double click this right here and just pull it. There you go. Okay? But this is good. This is good. Let's go to this bar. Just double click right there. Pull it there. Okay. Let's see. This is where the beat starts. Put it there. Okay. Let's see here. The 5th bar. So let's listen this from the top.
Woman want good love. Now sympathize. Woman want good love every night. Right. Love a girl. Happy. Step up.
She want a lover, man.
Action. At a bag of motor. So we. Don't be ready, girl, them don't go. Action. At a bag of motor. So we. Don't be ready, girl, them don't go.
Let's just do this right here. Okay.
Woman want good love. Now sympathize. Woman want good love every night. Right. Love a girl. Happy. Step up.
She want a lover, man.
Action. At a bag of motor. So we. Don't be ready, girl, them don't go. Love a girl. Happy. Step up.
She want a lover, man.
Action. At a bag of motor. So we. Don't be ready, girl, them don't go. Action. At a bag of motor. So we. Don't be ready, girl, them don't go. You think you.
Yeah, okay, this is good. So now, this is perfect. This is good. You don't want to waste too much time. We're going to go more detail into a beat that's drifted really bad. I'll show you how to warp that. But this is good, okay? Now, what you can do now is you want this back. You want this back. But what you can do is you can hold shift, click your hold shift, and then you can click there, and I'll all the way go down. That's going to take too long. That's going to take too long. So what you do is use a shortcut. You click here, you do Command and A, Command A. There you go. Now everything is selected. Okay. And just take this. Oops, it came off. Let's do it again. Command A. Okay. Let's just take this and put it down to the 2nd bar. Forget, it doesn't matter if this big space is there. It doesn't matter. You see it starts perfectly. Now, if you didn't put it on this first bar, let's say you had just like, put it like, let's bring it back how it was, right? So this is how it originally was. Let's say you just did this and you put it on a half. It sounds perfect, but the metronome is not hitting on that kick for the first bar. So let's put it on 2. This is 1 bar, this is 2nd bar, this is the 3rd bar, 4th bar. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is what perfect. So now what you do is go to File, Export Audio. Now you can save this as, and you go inside of where you want to save it, right? Action Riddim, and I can save it right here. I can say Terra Fabulous Nadine Sutherland, and I'm going to save it as 91 BPMs. This is just a project I'm saving. That's just a project. Now I'm going to save the audio. Export audio and videos. You click this. You see your master right here. You see that? And you keep it on master. Your file type, we have difference. We have AIF and we have FLAC. Keep it on wave. Keep it on wave. And then you export. It's going to open up where do you want to save it. I'm going to save it in the same place. The Action Riddim right here. Inside here. And I can create a folder. And I can say Action Riddim. And I'll put it as 91 BPMs. Okay. So in this folder, I'm going to save everything that I warp. 91 BPMs is going to stay in here. All right. Terra Fabulous, Nadine Sutherland. Okay. 91. And I save it in here. Okay. And that's the first lesson on warping. We're going to get into part 2 in the next clip.
Magic Touch family, you don't know, sin. Yeah, man. Andy the Magician.